Okay, so in this little video I'm going to show you how to submit and do your lesson reflections. This is for the first four, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what you do is you go to the course folder and you're going to be putting the reflections in here. So this is basically how your lesson went. So if we click on there, unit 426.8, and in fact it's got a resource there already, and that's the one that we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that, and this little form will cover reviewing the effectiveness of own practice in planning and delivering and assessing inclusive teaching and learning, and it will also identify areas for improvement. Now these don't need to be extremely detailed, they just need to give us a good idea of what went well, what needs to improve, and how you're going to do it. And hopefully you can include some of the feedback that you got from the observer. Now that could be me, Gemma or Julia, or even somebody else on occasion. So we click on that, the observation evaluation form, and we'll have a little look at it, see what it's actually going to require. So move it over there, and as you can see these boxes do expand obviously, because that would be very short. It says here, review the effectiveness of own practice in teaching, delivering and assessing inclusive teaching and learning, taking account of the views of learners and others. So you might want to include, this didn't go particularly well because the learners weren't very keen on the task, or maybe it did go well because they liked it, or maybe it went well for other reasons. So just you're thinking about not just your own views of how it went, but what gave you the idea that the learners enjoyed this or didn't enjoy this. Also, you might want to say about how much they learned. Did you check the learning? And if so, when you checked it, did they score lower than you thought they might? And then in this bit here, you're saying, okay, I need to work on my assessment, or I might need to work on my behavior management, or I might need to work on the tasks or my timings. And then you would say, okay, just give me a little rough idea of how you're going to do that. So we don't need a huge amount of detail, but say for example the behavior management was a problem, and it was identified, then you can say, okay, I'm going to improve my behavior management, and I'm going to do this by having a seating plan, or changing the activities a little bit more quickly, or various other things that might have been suggested to you. But as long as you're identifying areas for improvement and you've got a plan of how you're going to improve them, that is about as good as it gets. That's called reflective teaching. So, okay, once you've done that, you filled in your lesson observation form, then you can upload it. So you go to the evidence wizard, you filled out all of that, just like you did for the other evidence wizard. You find the document. So let's pretend it is this one. This is pretending this is my lesson observation reflection form number 1. And I'm going to remember it is examination of evidence, and the cross-reference for the first 1 to 4, it's these two here. So it's 426, 8.1 and 8.2, and there we go. Now obviously you're going to be submitting 4 of these because you've got 4 lesson observations to do in the first half of the year, so there will be 4 lots of these. And I won't tick these off until you've completed all 4. And once you've done that, I will tick it off, and there will be a little tiny bit of feedback in there, because you will also get feedback written about each observation in any case. And that's how you do your first 4 teaching observation forms.